Hello everyone, I am Will, and welcome back to my playthrough of Dark Souls Remastered. Yep, almost said Elden Ring there, but I did finish that one up not too long ago, so gotta remember this is Dark Souls. But anyway, uh, welcome back. Last we left off, we started the playthrough. Yep, did the character creation, opening cutscene, the undead asylum. Yeah, we talked with Oscar, he gave us the flask, kind of told us our overriding mission. Ring the bell of awakening to discover the fate of the undead. Or the chosen undead, anyway. Yep. Got our starting weapon, starting shield, which I'm not going to use. Well, I'm going to use the starting weapon, I'm not going to use the shield, because it sucks, but... Yep. And then we beat up the asylum demon. Got close. Too close for my comfort, but again, I'm still getting used to the game pace of the game. It's a much slower pace than Elden Ring, but it'll take me a little bit, but I'll get used to it again. It's like riding a bike. Yep. But yep. And then after beating the demon, took a ride on the Crow Airways, and it drops us off here in Firelink Shrine in Lordran. Yep. And that's where I decided to end the episode. Between episodes, I didn't do anything. I just quit out, came back. So there will be points in the playthrough where I will stop and do some item farming, particularly in the Undead Parish for early Titanites, get some early weapon upgrades, and again in the depths for large Titanite shards. I'd rather have a plus 10 weapon before I go down into the depths, into Blighttown. Probably do it again once we get to Anne Orlando for the Silver Knights, just for their weapon in particular. And again, near the end when I have access to the Dark Wraiths, again for upgrade materials, and probably in the depths as well for the rats. The rats down there drop humanity, which I'm gonna need. Gonna need a lot of them, to be honest. Those are really the only grinding spots I'll go after. Again, it's mainly for upgrade materials. I don't really do any level farming. Maybe in Androlando for like maybe a few points here and there, but nothing major. So I'll do all that between episodes, so you won't have to see that. Yep. And today, we're just gonna check out Firelink Shrine. And we got at least 2 NPCs to talk to. We got souls to spend, we got items to collect, suicide runs to run. Yep. That's probably all we're really gonna do for today, because I want to. Probably gonna do each area be its own little episode. So Firelink Shrine will get with its own, Undead Bird get its own. Maybe I'm still not quite sure, but I think for today it's going to be another short-ish episode, but a lot of talking, so it might go longer than you would think. So yeah, I didn't do anything, so all our stats and stuff is going to be the same, equipment's the same. So yeah, alright, so first things first, let's talk to Mr. Crestfallen here. What's up, buddy? Looking a little fallen.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blighttown. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on. But I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Well, Oscar said there was a Bell of Awakening, but he's saying there's 2. So who should we believe? Well, we're gonna believe Crestfallen here because he's actually here. So, yep, we're gonna have to return to him every now and then because he has a lot of things to say. So, got anything more for us?
Ah, your face. You're practically hollow. But who knows? Going hollow could solve quite a bit.
Yes. If you're hollow like this and you're online, you won't be susceptible to invaders, but you also can't summon. So there's that little trade-off. In order to summon, you have to be human, but if you're human, you can be invaded. So, yeah. But I think it still holds true even in offline. There are NPCs that will invade us, and there are NPCs we can summon. So, but in order to do that, we have to be human for that to happen. So, yeah. So we'll be human probably for most of the playthrough. Hopefully, maybe. As long as I have humanity for it, I'll do it. Because who wants to see Raisin Claire? You know, no one does.
What? Restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collect it bit by bit from corpses. Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I'd never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is only human, after all.
Yeah, so those are the 3 ways you actually get humanity. As long as the boss in the area is still alive, if you kill a certain number of enemies, you'll absorb a soft humanity. I don't know the exact numbers, and I think the limit is 10 soft humanity. So once you hit 10 soft humanity, you don't get any more. I think you can still get more if you lose it. Although again, I don't know how many you have to kill. And again, the boss in the area has to be alive for that to happen. So that's the, collect it bit by bit from corpses. The other one is we can be summoned for other players if we were online. You can still put down your summon sign if you're hollow. You just can't summon other people. And the other one is the invade other humans or invade other players who are not hollow. So yeah, those are the ways you get humanity. Or you can just farm rats, and rats will drop humanity too. So.
What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it.
Man, he is a healthy undead, so... But no, we're going to need him alive because he has more dialogue for us. But I like how he says, no, you can get humanity? Oh, you can get it from other healthy undead. And then we ask him again, well, don't you get it from me, though. Crestfallen.
What? You want to hear more? Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the undead church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the undead burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the undead burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town. But I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
Well, sounds like he's died once before. So how is he human again? Did you take it from healthy undead? But yeah, he basically kind of points you in the direction, go to the undead burg first. Anything else?
Bloody hell, what is it now? You ask too many questions.
I am an inquisitive soul, that's for sure.
What now? I'm not up for chatting. Leave me alone.
And he'll say that when he has nothing else to say, so...
I'm not up.
Yeah, so his dialogue's exhausted for now, so we'll check back in for him, because he'll have more stuff later on. Grab this over here. 3 humanities from the get-go. here first. Some fire bombs. Very useful early on because it's pure fire damage. And a lot of enemies are actually susceptible to fire, to be honest. Which is kind of weird. Well, it's not weird, it's just interesting gesture. Hey, Mr. Bowl Cut. There was a Bowl Cut in Ballarat, and we hated him, so I think we're going to hate you too.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Well, fine. We don't want to talk to you either. Yeah, just come up the stairs. Here's the lift that'll take us to the parish, but again, it's broken. Yes, there is a little secret with that. I will do that, but not with all the souls on me. But we need to talk to Petrus again. Alright, Petrus.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Copper coin. Why, thank you.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
Why, yes, it would.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Yes, we will abandon our covenant, which we don't have any, to join another one. Covenant established.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We are in the Way of White Covenant. Yeah, if we're doing online, it basically reduces the chance of being invaded. It doesn't eliminate it, but I think it does reduce the chance. It also makes it easier to be summoned, or so. Yeah. Learn the best gesture in the game, and we'll talk.
My companions are Milady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm.
Really?
An undead mission? Regrettably, I cannot share that with you. But you are my pupil. Perhaps if you show your faith.
Our faith is in souls. Yep. The amount required is dependent on your soul level. Since we're soul level 6, it's 100 per level, so 600. If you say no, you won't learn the dialogue. So if you want to know it, say yes. If you don't, save on the souls. I understand that. But I want to hear you. What is an undead mission? Here's a little faith for you.
Very well. I can surely tell you, of all people, undead clerics are given a mission to seek kindling. Kindling is the art of feeding bonfires with humanity. Through kindling, we shall one day be granted magnificent powers.
So, the mission is to receive kindling, or the right of kindling.
Very well. Undead clerics are given kindling is the through kindling.
Alright, yeah, I think that's all he has to say. Yeah, you can purchase spells, or miracles anyway. Yeah. They're expensive, and I'm decided I'm going to do more of a dex intelligence. Yeah. Yeah, because I think magic is probably better. Well, I mean, the only offensive miracles in this game are locked behind a covenant, which requires a minimum of 25 faith, but I don't know. I'm just going to plan on doing a dex magic build. So, mean, I'll do enough points into faith in order to use some of these, just because they're really useful. But yeah, it's gonna be a little while. Yeah, medium for casting miracles. Yep. Standard talisman issued to common believers. Thurland. Medium for casting miracles. This talisman is only granted to high-ranking Thurland clerics. As high magic adjusts, which thanks to divine protection is not dependent upon faith. Yeah, this I think this has a flat magic adjust of 165. I don't think it'll ever change no matter how much faith you put into it. But this will. Yeah, the magic adjust will increase as your faith goes up. So.
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
Alright. He gave us a coin, because I'm curious what it says. Copper coin of Old Man McLoif. Yeah. God of medicine and drink. It sounds like a good man. Even coins of great value in the world of men have little value in Lordran, where the accepted currency is souls. Those who dream of returning to the outside world are fond of carrying these around. So I guess he gave up his desire to go to the outside world, I guess. Yeah. Alright. Since we talked with Petrus, we got his little dialogue. Actually, let me grab the rest of this stuff. Yeah, it's up here and to the left behind this little area. Soul. This way to the graveyard, which is very dangerous at this stage of the game. There's a ton of skeletons, and they're all pretty resistant to a lot of stuff, so I would not recommend going down there, at least not right now. Although we will go down there as one of our suicide runs, just to grab the items in that little graveyard. Yeah. Another soul item. Although I do not plan on coming back out alive, so we need to spend all our souls first. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in this little area. Alright. Level up. At least 1 point at Dex. Can we just put both of them? Yeah, let's put both of them. Yeah. Just gotta get some of our... Oh, nope, I don't want to go that way yet.
I'm not up.
Just curious. Okay. Now for the suicide runs. Number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is this way. Wait, nope. Before that, I forgot. Almost forgot. Back to the elevator. To the broken elevator. Although it's broken, we can hop down. Get to this little secret stash. Whose stash? Well, it is someone. Cracked red-eye orbs, which allow for invasions. Yeah, invade other world. Yep. Cracked red-eye orb allows players to temporarily imitate the abilities normally limited to dark wraiths of Kath. So, yeah. Not a nice item. We have a Morning Star and a Talisman. Petrus is using a Morning Star. Homered Bones, very useful. And Lloyd's Talismans. So probably some sort of cleric's stash. Yep. One of the more barbaric cleric weapons. Yep. Uniquely, this hammer inflicts thrust damage and causes bleeding. No, it does strike damage, not thrust. So that's a misnomer, but it does cause bleeding. So not really useful. Well, it can be useful, but it's not as good as it is in Elden Ring, so it can still do its stuff. Yeah, here's the talisman. So we saved money on not buying the talisman. Yep. Utilized by all Father Lloyd's cleric knights to hunt down the undead. Blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. In the outside world, the undead are accursed creatures, and Lloyd's cleric knights are widely praised for their undead hunts. This blessed talisman blocks undead recovery, allowing the knights to fight with impunity. So this is a stash of a cleric knight that hunts undead. Is it Petrus? I think a lot of people believe that, but I don't know. It might be, but alright. We'll hop down, we'll take on those first two skeletons, and then we'll run around and grab the stuff. They'll spawn, just kind of lead them back up here. Hopefully one at a time, but yeah, just knock them down. Yeah, that's using the club's a good weapon for this, or the Morning Star is also good for this. You know, just wait for them to come closer. Knock them down. Wait for them to stand back up. Oops. A bit too soon. Just be careful, because they do inflict bleed, and at this stage of the game, we're very weak to it. So they can kill us pretty quickly. Alright. Those two down. Drink, just top off. Alright, so now there's a couple items, so we're going to run around and grab them. Hopefully we get them all in one go. I do expect to die, but you know, 200 souls, eh. Alright, so try to plan our little route. Okay. Just book it. Go this way. We already messed up. Book it. Worry about the item later. Big guy, grab this. Try not to get caught. I think. Oh, we're trapped. Yeah, we got trapped. I went the wrong way. Again, I expected to die. But I have gone through it without dying, but I went the wrong way. Whoopsies. Alright. Let's go back. There's 2 more items we've got to grab. We'll take a look at them once we get out of there. But so, yeah. Again, first things first. Take care of these 2 guys. Alright, come on. Go. Take care of them first, so we don't have to. They can be parried, but I'm not very good at it. At least not with these guys, anyway. Alright, so we don't have to go that way or that way. We can actually just run to this item. Grab this. Let's see. We gotta find out where our souls are at. Probably by where the binoculars were. Oh, it's right here. Oop. Alright, just go up here. Should be the last one's right here. Nice. Alright, just book it. And that should be all the items. And luckily we got our souls back. Just don't stop running, they're right behind us. Keep running. Alright. Okay, now we're in the safe zone. Good. Alright. Things we got. We picked up, I think, a soul item, binoculars, wherever they are. Advanced device was built by a famous craftsman of Astora. The utility is singular, but its application many. Value of these specs depends greatly on the imagination of their owner. It's actually a good thing to use if you want to line up free aim shots. Like if you want to hit enemies from a distance with your spells, you can use this to kind of center your aim on them. So that's one application you can use. It's probably the one I use anyway. We picked up the Zweihander, 24 strength. Damn. Yeah, the name suggests Zweihanders help with two hands, but his wielder must still be inhumanly strong. Sends flow flying. Ultra Great Sword. I also picked up the Wing Spear. I love the Wing Spear, but we don't have its stats to use it yet. Yep. Long reach. Swing, hit raises small, and it's easily blocked by shields. Yeah, but I love the Wing Spear. We also picked up the Caduceus Spear. I mean, round shield. Yeah. Ancient blue Caduceus. The giant tree and Lordran are distant offspring of the great stone arch trees. The shield inhibits their properties, or inherits their properties, and the wood greatly reduces magic damage. Yeah, 65% reduction in magic and lightning. So yeah, it's a really good, very good shield to start off with. Or a solid choice anyway. Alright. You have nothing more to say, right?
I'm not.
Okay. I'm always going to sit there and check with him every now and then. And below we have... no response. She cannot speak. If we had Firekeeper Souls, we can use it to reinforce. Yeah. Firekeeper Soul required to reinforce the Estus. So... yep, this is Anastasia. So, yep. She will eventually talk again, but it's gonna be a while for that to happen. It's gonna take a long trek for that. All right. Get our bones. All right. Turn around. Now we are below Firelink. More soul items. I tend not to use them, so they're going to collect in my back pocket. It's the same thing for all FromSoft games. New Londo Ruins. We're going to dip our toes in this area for one item. If we go this way, this is locked. If we had the master key, we could open this up right now, because this is the back way into Blighttown, right across that little bridge. We could also get into the Valley of the Drakes from here. Yeah, it's actually, again, across the bridge, but that way, further into the valley. So if we had the master key, we could go this way, but again, going to do a, quote, normal-ish playthrough. So we're not really gonna sequence break that much. Enjoying the view. And down here is our first blacksmith. A lot of people don't realize he's down here.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Rickett of Vinheim. I was once an established smith, though. Look at me now. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, his armor set's in the game files, but I don't think you can access it. Because he's wearing a different sorcerer set. I think it's a sorcerer or blacksmith set or something like that. So, yeah. Sad. It looks kind of cool, but oh well.
Hmm? What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. Can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, I've not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made me the best in Vinheim.
So now we can modify, reinforce, and repair. He only reinforces up to +5 standard path, but he can create magic weapons. So any magic embers you find, bring it to him. He'll do it for you. He sells basic spells and spell catalysts. We'll come back for these. We're not going to need this because we'll pick it up eventually, but 2,000, that's a lot.
What is it? There's nothing to talk about. We're both cursed, undead. But what's there really to moan about?
Yes, what is there to moan about?
What is it? There's nothing. We're both cursed.
Alright, yeah. Just be careful. I would recommend not hitting circle, because you can backstep yourself off the ledge here. So just be careful. Alright. If we had Titanite, he could do it, but... Alright.
Come back soon. Smithing helps soothe my nerves. Don't let me wither away out of idleness.
Don't worry, sir. We'll only come back for you to give you 2 things, and that's it. Yeah. Alright. Smack these guys for the souls. Yeah. Was it axes? Is this an axe? Hammer, okay. So, 3 weapon types in the game. Hammer, the axe, and the halberds. They have a special animation if you don't hit anything. That little stumble at the end. So if you miss something, you're going to stumble like that. But if you hit something, that little stumble animation doesn't play. Ta-da! So yeah, that's kind of why if you miss something, it takes a bit longer to come back. Especially if you're using like clubs, maces, axes, halberds. So they're one of the weapons that they're strong, but they have a slight little quirk to them. Here we go, our weapon of choice for the early game. The S-Stock. The S-Stock's the best stock. Fancy roll. Free the corpse for transient curse. Yep. Transient curse is, a temporary curse allowed engagement with ghosts. Yep. The only way to fight back against ghosts who are cursed beings is to be cursed oneself. The safest method, however, dreadful, is to cut off an arm of the dead. Yep. So these are basically actual human arms. They're actual arms of the dead. Yep. So if we want to fight the ghosts, you have to use one of them or get actually cursed ourselves, which I do not recommend. Yeah, getting cursed, the real curse, cuts our HP in half. So, and it stays that way until you lift it. And it's, yeah, it is a real pain in the butt to lift. The only way to lift the curse status is either with talking with an NPC down here in New Londo. You might be able to just make him out. I think he's up there. Oh, he's over there actually. Wrong building. He's over there in that building. or is to use an item called a purging stone, which are expensive, and so yeah, avoid being cursed at all cost. Luckily, there's only 2 enemies in the game that I can think of that apply curse. One's the boss, Seath the Scaleless. He has a breath attack that applies curse. And the other way, probably more common way, is the basilisks. Yeah, they spew curse clouds. Yeah, not fun, not fun. I would not recommend getting cursed. So we are going to avoid the ghosts down here. Yep, actually it's right there. There it is. That is the item we want. But there are half dozen ghosts between it and us, so we're going to try our best to grab the item, homeward bone out, and hopefully make it, but who knows. Alright. Out here, just book it. It's right here. There's a thin little bridge. Grab the item, shove ourselves into the corner, and get out of here. Whew, okay, that went off without a hitch. Usually I get hit while I'm in that animation and knocking me out of it, so. Right, let's equip our S stock. Again, the S stock's the best stock. It's a thrusting weapon. Well, the R2 is a slash, which is nice. You can't kick with it though. Yeah, that's the kick animation. It's a little faint. Really? That's the unhand. Whatever. But yeah, we're gonna use the S stock for now, unless one of the soldiers drops their weapon for us. So, all right. Oh, well, before we use it, we picked up in Firekeeper soul. Each Firekeeper, well, soul of a long lost Firekeeper. Keep that in mind. Long lost. There are Firekeeper souls with the names attached to them. I would not recommend using them. There's one in particular we'll get later on that we don't want to use. But if it says long lost, you're free to use it. So each Firekeeper is a corporeal manifestation of her bonfire, and a draw for humanity, which is offered to her. Her soul is gnawed by infinite humanity, and it can boost the power of precious Estus flasks. It can be used to gain humanity and restore HP at the cost of losing the Firekeeper soul to reinforce the Estus flask. Yep. Yep, they're corporeal manifestation of their bonfire. Basically a living form, like a tangible form. Yeah, which draws in humanity, which is offered to her. So basically, she's basically the bonfire, in a sense. So any humanity we offer to the bonfire gets drawn to her. Yep. And her soul is gnawed by infinite humanity. You gain 5 humanity if you consume it. So just use the ones you find to upgrade your flask. Flask +1. Nice. That just helps us early game, just having the stronger Estus flask. And it's easy to get, so might as well. We'll use one of these. Should be 200? Yes. Oops, nope. I'm tempted just to do these 2 for now. Focus on dexterity. What's our time? Is there anything else I want to do? You know what? Nope. In fact, actually, wait, yes, there is one more thing I want to do. Now that we did our suicide runs, we are free to. We used to. We're now free to use our soft humanity. no more Raisin Claire. There we go. Alright. Alright, Alright. Yes, I consumed two. One to reverse hollowing, and the one to have one humanity. Because having one humanity increases item discovery by 50%. Yeah. Always recommend having at least one humanity at all times, just to help with item gathering. But, alright. And with that, I'll call that an episode. Yep. Yeah, didn't really do a whole lot. You know, did a bunch of talking, entered a covenant, gathered items. Yep. Yeah, talked to Crestfallen over here, who gave us a more detailed description of the Bells of Awakening. You know, he's saying, you know, there's not one, there's two. One's up above, and one's down below. Yep. He gave us a hint to where to go, basically. Through the Undead Berg, through the waterway. So, yeah, because the skeletons are way too strong for us right now. We can't damage the ghosts unless we use a transient curse. And even then, we'll do barely anything to them, so that right there is a good indication that you're not really supposed to be there right now. That's kind of like this little subtle hint of saying, go elsewhere. So, but he also said, his little dialogue is kind of like the nail in the coffin saying, just go up this path here through the waterway. So that's what we're going to do next episode. So I talked to him, talked to Petrus, who's waiting for his companions. He allowed us to join the way of the White Covenant. Got us the best gesture in the game. Yes, it is the best gesture in the game. Talked to him, found his little secret stash. Whether it's actually his stash or not, I'm not too sure. A lot of people think it is, but it's at least a cleric hunter stash. So, did our suicide run through the graveyard. Did die because I kind of took a wrong turn, but we did get all the items in there. There was 2 soul items, a shield, a spear, this Vihander, the binoculars. Some very useful items early on. So, hopefully I can use a spear, because I really do like the winged spear, but I don't have enough dexterity or strength to use it just yet. And we do have enough strength, but we have to two-hand it, but we don't have enough dexterity. We need 1 more point in dexterity, then we can two-hand it. Because two-handing this game, I believe, doubles your strength value. Not 100% sure. I think it doubles. It might just be 50%, but I'm gonna assume it's 50%. But I'll double check to make sure. What else? Suicide run through the graveyard. Then we went down and suicide run through New Londo. To grab. The only reason to go down there is for the S-Stock, the soul item I think we grabbed, and the Firekeeper soul, just for the early upgrade to our SS Flask. So I do recommend doing those 2 runs, just for the weapons to give you, a goal for your stats, and the Firekeeper soul just for your extra healing strength for the early game. So, yep, and that was it. Talking, gathering, leveled up, and then next episode we'll be beginning our adventures proper this time. Gonna go up the little path there into the Undead Berg. Yep. Ooh, looking forward to it. A bunch of hollowed soldiers, hollow warriors. There's a Black Knight in there, our first merchant. A bunch of hollows, some important items to grab. And then we'll probably finish off with the Taurus Demon, or maybe cross the bridge. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But again, that is for another episode. And I thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all. Oops, no, not that. Although it is the best gesture, but see you all next time.